Hello my dear students, I am your gifty teacher. How are you? Hope all of you are keeping fine at your home. What about your assignment? I expect all of you had done it really well. Once Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam had said, if you want to shine like a sun, first burn like a sun. So, what's our duty? Yes, we need smart work to attain our goal. Are you ready for the smart work? Then the fruit of success will be yours. Now, let us rewind what we have learned so far. Firstly, Stephen Hawking's interview at Cambridge. Then, he contracted a rare disease. What's it? Yeah, amyotrophic lateral sclerosis. Though a cloud was hanging over his future, he firmly believed that life was precious. I know. Now you are waiting to know more about him, about his physical condition. Will he overcome his difficulty or not? All right. Let's see. Please take your text, page number 21. Read the first 3 paragraphs. Okay? At a New Year's party at St. Albans, just before he entered the hospital for tests, Hawking met Jane White. To her, this disheveled graduate student seemed terribly intelligent, eccentric and rather arrogant. But he was interesting and she liked his wit. When Jane met him again after his discharge from the hospital, he was really in a pathetic state. I think he has lost his will to live. He was very confused, she commented. She was not, however, put off by his physical or mental condition. She was rather a shy teenager, serious-minded, with a strong faith in God ingrained from childhood by her mother, and a belief that good can come out of any adversity. Hawking admired her optimism and their friendship developed slowly. After a while, the two began to realize, in Jane's words, that together we could make something worthwhile. For Stephen, that made all the difference. He applied for a research fellowship at Caius, one of the colleges in Cambridge University. In 1965, at the age of 23, Hawking received his fellowship at Caius, and in July of the same year, Jane and he were married. Hope you read the paragraphs. Now, let me ask you some questions. Okay. What was Jane White's first impression of Hawking? Yes. According to Jane, Stephen Hawking was disheveled, very intelligent, eccentric and arrogant. She found him interesting and she liked his wit. She fell in love with him. What is the meaning of disheveled? Yes, it's in the glossary, I know. So, disheveled means, see, untidy, not good in appearance. For example, we say, like Einstein, he was not bothered about physical appearance. See the picture? Look at his hair. Like the same way. Then, what is this eccentric meaning? Eccentric means strange or unusual. Now, can you make a brief note on Jane Wilde? Yes, point by point. Firstly, Jane Wilde was a shy teenager with a strong faith in God. From where she got that faith? Yes, this faith was ingrained in her by her mother. She believed that good can come out of any adversity. When she met Hawking after his discharge from the hospital, what was his condition? Yes, he was in a pathetic state. She felt that he had lost his will to live and he was very confused. But Jane was not ready to give up. This shows the optimistic quality of Jane, or in other words we can say that Jane was an optimistic person. She was not put off by his physical or mental condition. Hawking liked her optimism and their friendship grew. They thought that together they could make something good. Very good. So, what was Hawking's attitude? Yes, for Stephen Hawking, it made a big difference. He applied for a research fellowship at Caius, one of the colleges of Cambridge. In 1965, when he was 23, he received his fellowship at Caius, and in July, he and Jane married. Right? Very good. They had 3 children. See the picture? Aha! In fact, it was Jane who gave the moral support to Hawking to overcome his adversities and do something great for mankind. Now, what is the meaning of pathetic? Yes, sympathy. ദയനീയമായ അവസ്ഥ. Next word is ingrained. Ingrained means deep rooted. നമ്മൾ വളർത്തിക്കൊണ്ട് വരിക എന്ന് പറയും അല്ലേ? Deep rooted. You know where is this Caius College? See the picture? It is in Cambridge, England. Hope the ideas are clear to you. Now is the time for us to read the next couple of paragraphs. Okay? People who remember Hawking in the university in the late 1960s recall him making his way around the corridors with a cane, supporting himself against the wall. He spoke with what sounded like a slight speech impediment. But more than that, they remember his brashness in sessions involving some of the world's most distinguished scientists. While other young researchers kept a reverential silence, Hawking daringly asked unexpected and penetrating questions. He clearly knew what he was talking about. His reputation as a genius under Einstein began then. In 1980, a practical need for funds launched him into a new enterprise that was to have a far-reaching impact on the Hawkings and others all over the world. He thought of writing a book about the universe, about the most interesting questions that had made him want to study cosmology and quantum theory. Where did the universe come from? Is the universe infinite or does it have any boundaries? Will it come to an end? If so, how? Is there a complete theory of the universe and everything in it? Is there a beginning of time? Could time run back? The book begins by rewinding the great theories of the cosmos from Newton to Einstein. He wrote the book to make science understandable to non-scientists. Hope you read the paragraphs. Let me ask some questions. Okay? Dear students, can you point out few interesting facts dealt with in Hawking's book? Yes, these questions we were already discussed in our first class, isn't it? Okay, then tell me, which are those questions? Yes, correct. Where did the universe come from? Is it infinite? Does it have any boundaries? Will it come to an end? If so, how? Is there a complete theory of the universe and everything in it? Is there a beginning of time? Next one. Could time run back? The book begins by rewinding the great theories of the cosmos from Newton to Einstein. Very good. His purpose in writing this book was to make science understandable to non-scientists. Well done, my dear students. Well done. Then, what is this speech impediment means? Yes, it's a physical problem that makes it difficult to speak. Dear students, brash means, I will tell you, brash means bold or confident. See, brash means bold or confident. Dear students, see, cosmology means the scientific study of the universe, its origin, development, etc. ഈ പ്രപഞ്ചത്തെക്കുറിച്ചുള്ള പഠനത്തിനെയാണ് നമ്മൾ എന്തെന്ന് പറയുക? കോസ്മോളജി എന്ന് പറയുക. ആൻഡ് ദാറ്റ് ഓഫ് ക്വാണ്ടം തിയറി. ക്വാണ്ടം സിദ്ധാന്തം നിങ്ങൾ കേട്ടിട്ടില്ലേ? നിങ്ങൾ കുഞ്ഞു ക്ലാസ്സുകളിൽ പഠിച്ചതല്ലേ ക്വാണ്ടം സിദ്ധാന്തം? Quantum theory. Quantum theory stands for the idea that energy exists in units and cannot be further divided. Is the idea clear to you? Okay. Now, let's read the next two paragraphs. Okay? Okay. He completed the first draft in 1984. While the revision process was going on, he made a trip to Switzerland. There he was down with pneumonia and was left on a life support system. Doctors gave a choice as to whether a tracheotomy operation which would remove his windpipe should be conducted or not. It might save his life, but afterwards he would never again be able to speak or make a vocal sound. With grave misgivings, Jane consented. The future looked very bleak, Jane remarked. Hawking could no longer breathe through his mouth and nose, but only through a permanent opening made in his throat. After many weeks of intensive care, he went home to join Jane and his 3 children. He was still too weak and ill to continue his research. Walt Wolters, a computer expert in California, sent him a program he had developed called the Equalizer, which allowed Hawking to select words from the screen. Hope you have read the paragraphs. So, what could have been the misgivings of Jane? Which means, what were the concerns of Jane Hawkins? Misgivings means a feeling of doubt about the consequence. ആശങ്ക ഉണ്ടായെന്ന് വരത്തില്ലേ? വരാൻ പോകുന്നതിനെ സംബന്ധിച്ചുള്ളൊരു ആശങ്ക. അങ്ങനെ എന്താ സംഭവിച്ചതെന്ന് പറഞ്ഞേ? Yes, while a trip to Switzerland, Hawking contracted pneumonia and was left on a life support system. The doctors treating him suggested a tracheotomy operation. See the picture? Tracheotomy operation. Tracheotomy operation that is done in trachea, which would remove his windpipe. It might save his life, but he would never again be able to speak or make a vocal sound. Jane thought her husband might die with the operations. That is why he said, the future looks bleak. Hawking would no longer breathe through his mouth and nose, but through a permanent hole made in his throat. So, സ്വിറ്റ്സർലൻഡിലോട്ടുള്ള യാത്രയിൽ സ്റ്റീഫൻ ഹോക്കിങ്ങിന് ന്യൂമോണിയ വന്നു അല്ലേ? ഡോക്ടേഴ്സ് എന്ത് വിധി എഴുതി? ട്രക്കിറ്റോമി ഓപ്പറേഷൻ കൊണ്ട് മാത്രമേ അദ്ദേഹത്തിന് ഇനി മുന്നോട്ട് ജീവിക്കാൻ ഒക്കുകയുള്ളൂ. ട്രക്കിറ്റോമി ഓപ്പറേഷൻ നടന്നതുകൊണ്ട് അദ്ദേഹത്തിൻ്റെ ജീവൻ രക്ഷിക്കാനാവും. എന്നാൽ പിന്നീട് ഒരിക്കലും ഒന്ന് സംസാരിക്കാനോ ഒന്ന് ശബ്ദം പുറത്തേക്ക് കൊണ്ടുവരാനോ കഴിയില്ല. മാത്രവുമല്ല ഇനി ഒരിക്കലും അദ്ദേഹത്തിന് മൂക്കിൽ കൂടെയോ വായിൽ കൂടെയോ ശ്വസിക്കാനും കഴിയില്ല. ഒരു പെർമനൻറ്റ് ഹോൾ ത്രോട്ടിൽ കൊടുത്തിട്ടുണ്ട്. അതിൽ കൂടെ മാത്രമേ ഇനി ശ്വസിക്കാൻ കഴിയൂ അല്ലേ? അതാണ് ഇപ്പോഴത്തെ സിറ്റുവേഷൻ. സോ ഹൗ കുഡ് ഹി ഓവർകം ഹിസ് ഡിഫിക്കൽട്ടീസ് ആഫ്റ്റർ the tracheotomy operations? Since Hawking could not speak, Walt Wolters, a computer expert in California, sent him a program he had developed. It was called the equalizer. See the spelling? Equalizer. It would allow Hawking to select words from the screen, and this way he could continue to do his work, although very slowly. Dear students, please note the meaning of bleak. Yes, bleak means no hope. പ്രത്യാശ നൽകാത്ത ഒരു അവസ്ഥ. Hope the ideas are clear to you. Let's start our today's game. Are you ready? Okay. Today we are going to play with cohesive devices. What is this cohesive devices? See, cohesive devices. Cohesive devices are words or phrases that is used to link or clarify the relationship among ideas, that is in a sentence or in a paragraph. Without cohesive devices, a paragraph or an essay will be just a group of sentences that may be difficult to understand. So, with the help of these cohesive devices, one may get a clear idea about the relationship between the sentences or between the paragraphs. So, cohesive devices are connectors or linking words. There are different types of cohesive devices. Let's go through it. See the picture? The first column you can see the functions, and the second column you can see the cohesive devices used to connect it with. So, the first one function you can see reason or cause and effect. The corresponding cohesive devices are because of, us, since, due to, owing to, for. For example, I am happy because you are here. Next, the function word is result. Instead of result, we can use the cohesive device. So, as a result, therefore, consequently. For example, we can say Mary wanted to do well in her test, so she studied very well. Next, purpose. The corresponding cohesive devices are in order to, so that, so as to. For example, you are so beautiful that I cannot get my eyes off you. Next function word is contrast or qualify. Corresponding cohesive devices are even though, but, however, while, nevertheless, yet, although, in spite of, despite, though, whereas, still. For example, I studied for the test, but I don't think I did well. Next function word is contradicting. Cohesive devices were on the contrary, even so. For example, there was no malice in her. On the contrary, she was very kind. Next function word is adding. The corresponding cohesive device we can see and, to, moreover, also, furthermore, in addition to, besides. For example, as we say bread and butter. Next function word is illustrating. Corresponding cohesive devices were for instance, for example, in particular. For example, we can say you cannot rely on her. For instance, she arrived an hour late for an important meeting yesterday. Next is comparing. The cohesive devices were similarly, in the same way, likewise, like, equally. For example, the sisters dress similarly. Next function word is generalizing. Cohesive devices were on the whole, in some cases, in general, in all, many, most, broadly speaking. For example, broadly speaking, I agree with you. Next is sequencing or structuring. Corresponding cohesive devices were firstly, secondly, lastly, etc. or first of all, finally, to begin with, to start with, meanwhile, then, after, subsequently. For example, lastly, I would like to ask about your future plans. Hope you got an idea about cohesive devices and its use, right? Aha. Okay. Now, please take your text, page number 28. With the help of your teacher, practice the correct cohesive forms which is given in the box. And that will be today's assignment for you. Alright? Okay. I know. Now you are thinking whether Stephen Hawking be able to finish his dream project. What's that? Yes, about writing a book. We will see about that in our next class. Till then, stay safe, stay healthy.